Okay, what I'm going to do is take a look at what is called the box method to factor a typical trinomial. So the first thing you are to do is to make a box. That seems reasonable for the box method. And you divide it into 4 parts. Now what you do is you take the first term and put it here, and the last term and you put it there. Now you multiply the first term times the last term, and you get, well, just the numbers for now. 2 times 3 is 6. This is a little bit like the AC method. We're getting a 6. Now, as we look at that 6, what are the factors of 6? Well, you have 1 times 6, and the other one is 2 times 3. Now, you could have 6 times 1 and 3 times 2, but this is similar. Now, what we want to do is look at these factors and see which one of these factors will add up to our B term here, which is a 7. And we see it's this one. So this is going to be a 1x here. You can put them in either place. And this is going to be a 6x here. Now I'll change colors so you can see it a little bit better. Now, what can we factor out of these two terms here? Well, we can factor out an x. And what can we factor out of these terms here? And if you said a 3, you are correct. Now, we're going to go this way, and what can you factor out of each of these terms? Think about it. And if you said a 2x, that is correct. And here, the only thing you can factor out of both of these is a 1. So, now to get this sign here in the middle, everything has to be positive. So in a sense, this is a plus here, and between these two it's a plus. So now we have the factors. This is going to be x plus 3, and this is going to be 2x plus 1. Now if we FOIL these now, the first gives us a 2x squared. Our outers give us a positive 1x. Again, we don't write the 1. Our inners gives us a positive 6x. And our last gives us a plus 3. Now, notice when we combine our like terms here, this then equals 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 is what we started off with. All right, we'll do a few more, and again, you can go back and try these on your own. All right, here's another trinomial. Let's take a look at it here. And I'll get my colors set up. So we're going to put this in the first box, and this in this box. Now, what we're going to do is multiply these together, and that gives you a 90. And we want to go through the factors of 90. Well, we have 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30. Now 4 doesn't go in there, but 5 goes in there, all right. 5 times 18. Now we're looking for our B term here. That is a negative 13. And the only one that gets close to it is this one. that if you subtract 5x and 18x, and 18 would be a negative here, you get your middle term. So now what we want to do is, what can we factor out of this row here? Well, we can factor out an x. And what can we factor out of this row here? We can factor out a negative 6. And what can we factor out of this one? Wait a minute. This is going to be... No, that's okay, yeah. I was thinking something else. All right, now for this column, we can factor out a 5 here. And for this column, we can factor out a 3x. Now we take a look at what we have. Well, we have here x minus 6, and this is 3x plus 5. Now we're going to FOIL. X times 3x is 3x squared. Our outers are a plus 5x. Our inners are a negative 18x. And our last is a negative 30. Now we combine our like terms here, and we get 3x squared minus 13x minus 30. So this one worked out well also, and it relates a lot to our AC method, where A times C is your 90, a negative 90. Okay, let's do one more. Now, what you want to do again is write this down and then try it on your own. And then you can proceed from there. So we're going to put this there, 7a squared. This third term here, negative 2. Now we're going to multiply 7 times negative 2. We get a negative 14. So what are the factors of this? Well, a 1 and a 14. A 2 and a 7. Now we're looking to get our b term here, and the one that's closest is 2 times 7 is 14, but the difference is 5. And we want it to be a positive 5, so this will be a positive 7a. And this will be a negative 2a. Alright, now we've set up our box. Again, it takes a little bit of time, but it works. And what can we factor out of this column here? Well, we can factor out an a. And what can we factor out of this column? And the answer is a 1. It's the only thing we can factor out. Now, what can we factor out going this way? A 7a. And what can we factor out going this way? A negative 2 from each. Now, what are our factors? Well, it will be what we have here, a plus 1 and 7a minus 2. And now we're going to FOIL. A times 7a is 7a squared. Doing our outers is a negative 2a. Our inner's a positive 7a, and our last a negative 2. Grouping like terms, we get 7a squared plus 5a minus 2, and that checks. So we've given you 3 examples of using the box method, and that's a good method too. I haven't used this much in the past, but it may be the one that's right for you. Okay, so we're just a little over 10 minutes here.